clock is broken, never stopping, never slowing. Yeah, we're living wide open, unwinding every moment, like the clock is broken, never stopping, never slowing. Yeah, we're living.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The hatred runs deep between these teams, and no position feels the pressure of a rivalry game more than quarterback. Can this fella look past the emotion of the game and deliver a victory for his team? It's the Browns going up against the Steelers. So let's get you up to the Steel City. Standing by in Pittsburgh, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll try and start this drive in the air. Josh Doxson's got it complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
They're going to look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's third and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense.
So a pass interference here, and this is obviously a call we see all the time, but for the defender, it's becoming almost impossible to play defense in some of these situations.
You're trying to play through the receiver to the football. If there's any contact at all before he gets there, those officials will throw the flag and call interference.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Their big tight end, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. That was a case of practice making perfect. Goal line offense had been their focus while prepping for this one.
Almost as if you go back to training camp, isn't it? You strip it.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Here we go. Green. Watching that, Barney.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
And to give this time to the tailback. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 32 that time.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Their big tight end hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and it's second down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with a lead. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Steelers trail right now, but with another half to play, there's time to turn it around. The Browns have been the better team, though, and will try to maintain the lead in the second half. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Browns taking the field for their opening drive. The connection will be made from the gun. And after the short pass, he'll score. The lead grows to 4. Browns take over late in the second. The pass is completed into tight coverage, and it leads to a touchdown. The Browns go up by 4.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 12. And the Browns are going to have a first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Dotson with a grab over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up second down. And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on second down and 3.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
A lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, look credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's got his man. This is Dotson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
And his throw is incomplete. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. It's brought in by Dodson. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw again. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. Now it looks like he'll throw here. This will be caught inside the 10. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
A dime look defensively. Big play coming on 3rd and goal.
They can still blitz out of this look.
And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And they take a knee. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these 2 teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Browns, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more